What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now 215 subs away from hitting 500 subs. Excuse me. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because practically 100% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which in a way it kind of ties with this week's episode. But the question of the day is this: what were your guys' thoughts on the Royal Rumble? And do you believe it was the right move for Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair to win the Royal Rumble? Let me know down in the comments below. And that's pretty much exactly what we're going to talk about for this week, is the fallout of the Royal Rumble. Now, interestingly enough, last year's Royal Rumble was pretty predictable, I would say. I think everybody knew that Cody Rhodes wanted to finish the story, so he did end up winning the Royal Rumble. Bayley, though, obviously was completely unexpected, but I will say this year we actually had some incredible moments. We saw Jordynne Grace return to WWE, now being a part of the WWE roster, which is incredible. We saw at least six NXT superstars show up, I believe. Give me 1 second. I actually have it here on my desk. Give me 1 second. Pull them out. Here we are. Have the match cards here. Set that there. And now we take a look. So on the women's side, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 5 NXT superstars show up, and we had how many superstars return? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 5 returns. We had, as far as those on NXT, on the women's side, we had Roxanne Perez, we had Lash Legend, we had Jada Parker, Stephanie Vaquer, and of course the NXT women's champion Julia, who sadly got eliminated by Roxanne Perez, which was unfortunate. But she had a pretty awesome performance in the Royal Rumble. And those who returned, we had Natalya, Jordynne Grace, Alexa Bliss, Trish Stratus, and of course Nikki Bella. Which, that one, I'm being real, Nikki Bella coming back, I'm honestly kind of tilted by it. And the reason the reason being is because she was one of the women who you just wanted to hate, because she would always hog the spotlight from all the other women who wanted to be in that, who wanted to be under those bright lights. And if you guys don't believe me, look back to her time as the Divas champion. She held the Divas title for well over almost a year. In fact, I think she held it for she held the Divas title for 301 days. I think it was, which was the longest reign since the title's inception back in 2008. And then and also too, for the first ever women's Royal Rumble, turning her back on her own sister Brie Bella, challenging Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title, and now her sister. It literally, that right there is the proof. Don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. It was awesome to see her show up and make an appearance in the Rumble. But I think if she were to come back as a full-time talent, it's just gonna spew more chaos, more controversy, and I think that's what's gonna be Nikki's ultimate downfall, is the chaos and the controversy, because fans on social media will just say, "Oh, Nikki Bella shouldn't be back in WWE. She's a Hall of Famer. She's retired. She should stay that way. Blah blah blah." That's what fans are gonna do on social media. But I think honestly, I think this was more of a one-time deal, because we found out that Jordynne Grace has been signed to WWE, and according to a report from PW Insider, Alexa Bliss will be a part of the Raw roster tonight, and apparently she'll be making an appearance tonight on Raw as well. Now, as far as Charlotte Flair winning, I think honestly, given the fact that she hasn't held singles gold in a very very long time, I think since 2023, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense that we'd see a dream match, if you will, between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, two athletically gifted women who are athletically gifted, incredibly talented, and they are arguably two of the best that SmackDown has to offer. And I think it would make more sense to see that happen rather than see Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. And the only reason why I say that is because when you look at it on the surface, Tiffany Stratton is slowly starting to become a babyface, but the way I see it, she's more of a heel. She's more of a heel. She'll always be a heel. I really think that they should have just kept her as a heel, but the fans love Tiffany Stratton, so it buys into the question: if Charlotte Flair does choose Tiffany Stratton, how is this gonna work? Is Charlotte Flair gonna be the one to turn heel, or is Tiffany Stratton gonna be the one to turn back heel? The way I see it, I think it should be Tiffany Stratton turning back heel, because that's all she ever knew, was being a heel. However, though, Charlotte Flair, you guys already know, anytime you hear the last name Flair, you know damn well that a Flair will always be a natural born heel, and that's just how it is. But Charlotte Flair now, before she got injured, she was at the top of her game. She was in the prime of her career. And again, the last time we saw her was, I believe, in December, about a week after War Games. Actually, funny, and I think it was like about a week after War Games, and that was the last time we saw her prior to the Royal Rumble. So it's interesting, I think. And also too, tonight on Raw, at the time that I'm posting this, Charlotte Flair will be making an appearance on Raw. So it'll be interesting to see what she's gonna say. I know that Rhea Ripley doesn't want to fight Charlotte Flair because she already beat her before. But when you look at it on the surface, it would make more sense for Charlotte Flair to choose Rhea Ripley, because Charlotte won at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley won at WrestleMania, so they're tied at 1 apiece. Only way to settle the score is at WrestleMania. But I don't think Rhea Ripley's gonna do that. I think if anything, I think we're gonna end up seeing Rhea defend her title, but possibly against someone else at WrestleMania, like maybe like maybe someone somewhere along the lines of like maybe like Lyra Valkyria, or maybe like Io Sky or something like that, which would be pretty cool. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's gonna be interesting to say the very least. But as far as the WWE tag team titles go, I mean it's interesting. I think when you look at how far that match went, I think it's pretty safe to say that the Street Profits want those tag team titles. They want to take the titles off of DIY, but Dawkins is still hurt. Dawkins is still injured, and there were no reports of the Profits ever showing up to the Royal Rumble. There was nothing. Nobody said anything about it. And now that DIY has put the Motor City Machine Guns in their rearview mirror, at least for the time being, the question now becomes, what does the road to WrestleMania look like for DIY? The way I see it, we may end up seeing new tag team champions between now and before WrestleMania. But is it possible? Absolutely. But I think the way to settle the score, because if you really think about it, DIY has had issues with the Machine Guns, the Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, and Los Garza. So the way I see it, there's only one way to settle the score, and that's keep that rivalry going, keep all the rivalries going, leading into WrestleMania, where DIY defends the tag team titles in a ladder match. That's just how I see it. That's how I see it. Because if you guys recall last year's WrestleMania, there was a ladder match for both the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles. Now, obviously, the World and WWE tag team titles. A-Town Down Under grabbed the excuse me, the WWE tag team titles, where as opposed to Awesome Truth, they were the ones that grabbed the Raw tag team titles, which I was actually kind of surprised. Honestly, I was very surprised that we saw R-Truth finally, after all these years, get his WrestleMania moment, because he earned it. He earned that moment. But now it's gonna be interesting to see how all this will play out from now until WrestleMania, because DIY, they've made enemies out of pretty much the entire tag team division. They all want those tag team titles, and I think, looking at it on the surface, we could end up seeing all 6 teams go after the tag team titles. We could end up seeing it, which is very, very possible. But but going into the WWE title picture between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, I mean, what can I say? I think I think this may have been the biggest test, one of the biggest tests of Cody's reign as WWE champion, because he was facing off against a very a very a very dangerous but a very delusional Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn came out. We all thought that he was gonna get involved. Funny enough, he didn't. He did not get involved, and that proves that he can't decide which friend he wants to help out the most. So, he made his choice, and that's just that. But the thing is, the last couple of weeks or so, apparently Karrion Kross has been getting into his head. So I think it's safe to say that we may end up seeing a heel Sami Zayn once again. I don't know if it's the right move at this point, because anytime you get in the ring with a guy like Karrion Kross, you just end up becoming a different person. I mean, obviously Shinsuke Nakamura felt that wrath. Drew McIntyre felt that wrath. AJ Styles felt the wrath. Miz, who else? Carmelo Hayes. Pretty much everybody that had been in the ring with Karrion Kross changed. Even Jimmy Uso, funny enough, which came out from last year's Royal Rumble. We know. So, interestingly enough, if Sami Zayn does end up turning heel again, I think it's just gonna be a bad thing, because the thing is, Sami Zayn has won more championships as a babyface than he did as a heel. In fact, as a heel, he's only won what, three intercontinental titles, and that's it. That's it. He's won three intercontinental titles, and that's it. As a babyface, he's won the NXT title. He's won the tag team titles, and he also won his fourth intercontinental title. Not only that, but he even also main evented WrestleMania and co-main evented WrestleMania. I think on Saturday, was it? I want to take a look back. I think it was Saturday. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. On night one of WrestleMania, he defeated Gunther, ending his reign as champion of 666 days, which is incredible. So it's gonna be interesting to see where Sammy's allegiance will lie moving forward. Having to deal with Cross, but now that Cody Rhodes has put Kevin Owens in the rearview mirror, both are now suffering injuries. We know that he's probably not going to show up tonight on Raw, but he will be showing up this Friday on SmackDown when it emanates in Memphis. I believe it's in Memphis, and he's gonna have a lot to say about his match with Kevin at the Rumble, and he's also gonna have a lot to say about the road to WrestleMania, and what he has planned, if you will. He's gonna have a lot to talk about, but who knows? I think The Rock made the right decision to let Cody Rhodes finish the story, because this has been the best version of Cody Rhodes we've seen ever in Cody's entire career in WWE, from dating back to his debut back in 2007 to being a part of Legacy, to being, from being Dashing Cody Rhodes to just simply Cody Rhodes, teaming with his brother Goldust. Every single iteration of Cody Rhodes that we had seen over the years, this has been the best version we have ever seen. And obviously, yes, when you do reach at least 300 days as champion, yes, you do end up starting to get a little fatigued. But that's the thing about this version of WWE, is that you get that time off. You get that time off to rest. You can show up, do promos and whatnot. That's the beauty of the Paul Levesque era. And Cody Rhodes has been at the top of his game. I think since winning, not just since winning the WWE title, but I think going past WrestleMania 39, like right after WrestleMania 39, after that loss. Yes, he did have a couple of big losses after that against a guy like Brock Lesnar. But when you really look at it, there was no other person that could take the title off of Roman better than Cody did. And now obviously we know from the men's Royal Rumble, Jey Uso winning. And how many returns did we have? We had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 returns to WWE, and an in-ring debut, which is crazy. Think about this, right? You look at the women's Rumble. Think about who was in it. Going in order: Io Sky, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Lyra Valkyria, Chelsea Green, B-Fab, Ivy Nile, Zoe Stark, Lash Legend, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Bayley, Sonya Deville, Maxine Dupree, Naomi, Jada Parker, Piper Niven, Natalia, Jordynne Grace, Michin, Alexa Bliss, Zelina Vega, Candice LeRae, Stephanie Vaquer, Trish Stratus, Raquel Rodriguez, Charlotte Flair, Julia, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella. And on the men's side, think about this: Rey Mysterio, Penta, Chad Gable, Carmelo Hayes, Santos Escobar, Otis, Braun Breaker, I Show Speed. Yeah, you heard me right. I Show Speed. Incredible. He literally eliminated a dude. Okay, he eliminated Otis with Braun Breaker, which is crazy. And the spear that he took from Braun Breaker, pure gold. It was just pure gold. Not even gonna deny it. It was just pure gold. Sheamus, Jimmy Uso, Andrade, Jacob Fatu, Ludwig Kaiser, The Miz, Joe Hendry, the TNA champion. That half right there, those were some pretty big names, but the second half was where the big guns showed up. Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Jey Uso, AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, John Cena, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, LA Knight, Logan Paul. Think about those names. All those names that I mentioned have all went on to win multiple championships everywhere they've been, or they have main evented WrestleMania in some form or another. And Jey Uso eliminating John Cena, this is where the heat and the backlash is going to come into play, because ever since John Cena announced his retirement tour last year in Toronto, at Money in the Bank, he literally, the whole world was like saying, what if John Cena won his third Royal Rumble? What if he won his 17th world title? What if, right? the fans wanted John Cena to win. Even also, Tyrese Halliburton from the Indiana Pacers, he wanted to see John Cena win it, but Jey Uso ended up the last man standing, winning the men's Royal Rumble. Has this given WWE a lot of heat? Absolutely. In fact, there's been a lot of fans who want to see Triple H get fired, which makes no sense whatsoever because Triple H has done a hell of a job running WWE compared to how Vince McMahon ran WWE. The difference is night and day. Vince was more all hands on deck. Everybody needs to be, everybody needs to show up, and I don't care if you're hurt or not. Where as opposed to Triple H, he always puts the talent ahead of making money, which that's just how I see it. I think Triple H running WWE has been incredible, but I'm curious of how the fans tonight on Raw are going to react to Jey winning as the road to WrestleMania continues, because we know that there are a lot of fans out there who didn't like Charlotte Flair winning, but Jey Uso has become arguably one of the most popular stars on the entire Raw roster in WWE. So I don't really know if they're planning to turn Jey heel or if they're gonna keep him as a babyface. At this point, it's kind of hard to say, but I think leading into the road going into WrestleMania this year, I mean, Jey pretty much said it best. He said that he knows that he can defeat Gunther. So I think it's safe to say that we may end up seeing Jey Uso challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. And as far as the WWE title goes, I mean, John Cena said it best. He's officially entered himself into the men's elimination chamber, which I don't know if it's gonna be for the World Heavyweight title or if it's gonna be for the can't speak, guys. For the WWE title against Cody. No one knows. But I think once Jey makes his decision, possibly tonight on Raw, that will determine what the what the men's chamber will be fighting for. That'll determine the elimination chamber. But only time will tell. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. Leading into WrestleMania, the road is going to be extremely crazy. It's going to be chaotic. Everybody's going to be at the top of their game, especially Jey, especially Cody, and Seth and Punk and Roman and Cena. All these guys are going to be at the top of their game, fighting for the chance to be a part of WrestleMania. But we do know as well that out of every championship that's on the main roster, at least 9 of these titles are going to be defended, including the world heavyweight title, the WWE title, the United States title, the Intercontinental title, potentially the women's world title, the WWE women's title, and maybe the women's Intercontinental and US titles. If there was one other title that I would love to see get defended in WrestleMania, possibly the women's tag team titles, because they don't get enough time on in PLEs. So I think WrestleMania is definitely the perfect chance for the women's tag team division to truly excel, if you will. So, but I'm very curious. I think the road to WrestleMania is going to be very interesting to say the very least. But with that being said, that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.